Is it going to be Darius Thompson, as you said, and you're in the blue, the ball is in the air, and we are under possession to the reigning champions in the 25th anniversary edition of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
Well, straight away, Efes have gone to the same strategy of guarding Kendrick Nunn, forcing him to his right hand. They do not want to let him dribble with his left hand, and then they'll double team him on a high screen and roll. What he did he's done here to start is he's waits for the pressure and then he's kicking to the open man. Grant
knocks down that wide open three, so Panathinaikos open with the first basket. Both teams starting in man-to-man defense. And that shot off the mark. Good work inside. And Yilmaz with the deuce.
He's played 2 minutes per game, and he only played 2 games so far. And then tonight he starts and gets the bucket.
Yurt Saban in his first year with Panathinaikos, his shot's off the mark.
That's Matoglu.
I beg your pardon.
Yurt Saban have done well to make that shot off the bench because he's sitting on the bench.
Well, good defense here by Jenny Osmond, and great hustle by Shane Larkin, who comes back to reduce the impact of the turnover.
You asked me about pressure. Don't forget, you know, Larkin is a 2-time champion. You've got veterans on this team. This isn't a bunch of under-18s, you know, that are still excited about going to their first prom date. These guys have been there, done it. They know what it will take. And that hustle there from your star player is the example that shows that FS is ready.
Yeah, especially when it's your scorer, too. You love when your scorer gets his hands dirty. Right now, Nunn earns his first trip to the line.
Well, you see that the risk you take, as we saw in game 2-3, if you let Kendrick Nunn go to force him to his right hand, see, not let him go left because he is left-handed, that takes away his 3-point shot. But he's such a great finisher around the basket. You know, but you know, 25 points and didn't score a 3-point score in the last game. He can hurt you inside. So when you force him right, the help has got to come quickly, and you've got to shut him down. If he gets underneath that dotted line in the center circle in the lane, you're in trouble.
Yeah, Nunn had 25 points in game 3. He was the MVP of the playoffs in that round, so well done to him. And he makes 1 of 2 from the stripe. Well, the drums are beating here in the Basketball Development Center, trying to urge FS onto a victory. Here's Thompson, his pass. Just too strong for Poirier to bring in. And Nunn kicks, meet the glue. Long rebound into the hands of Grant. Extra possession here for Panathinaikos.
Well, what Matoglu needs to be careful of is not to force it. You know, he was the hero in game 3 because he's making all these threes. It's not just going to come back to you naturally, because obviously FS will have adjusted. Don't force it. Let it happen the way Cedi Osman just did.
Let the game come to you. Osman rattles home that 3, and Panathinaikos open up a 7-2 lead. You can see how Grant trying to shepherd Larkin to Gabriel. Poirier's runner in and out. Osmani comes up with the loose ball. Good hustle. Extra possession here for FS.
Yilmaz keeps it alive. Has about that for a finish from Larkin. An important thing, you talk about pressure, Liam. The important thing at the beginning of the game is not to panic. You know, we know this game is 40 minutes at least, so you've just got to stay through it. Right, this whole series has been a set of runs. So Panathinaikos started out the harder team. FS need to just stick to their game plan.
You can see, now does he double dribble? Did he get away with a double dribble? Osman's shot is no good.
Wow.
He'll try a second time from the same spot. That's no good. And FS do not do a good job taking care of their defensive rebounds. The stick back from Dino Mitalu.
Well, that first rebound they should have picked up. Darius Thompson just got caught looking at the basketball.
Yeah, great feed. And Poirier just couldn't finish it. Thompson knocks home the 3.
Offensive rebound, his second chance opportunity is really helping. You know, you talk about the shot blocking, you know, Atura and Poirier game 5. What's the odds now? I'm talking about the 63 bus. Wenyan Gabriel goes for 5 block shots tonight.
Listen, you just can't help but...
He's already got his first. A good defense there from Larkin.
Gabriel joined the season because of the absence of Matthias Lesor. Lesor rode off this season with an injury.
Yilmaz, for me, has been the X-factor so far. Offensive rebounds, broke up. He got the 2 of those. Then he gets the steal.
Osmani down in the box, trying to back down his countryman. Skips a pass over the top. It finds the hands of Thompson. Yilmaz, let's fly. Got it. Well, he's justifying his selection in the starting lineup.
He's played 4 minutes 28 seconds in the first 3 games. He starts game 4 and gives us 5 points, 3 rebounds and a steal in the first 5 minutes.
He's done his job so far. Remember, fans, these teams played 48 hours ago, so coaches trying to rest legs and space out minutes to the best they can. Good drive by Osman, just can't convert.
That's good defense by Yilmaz as well, though, because Osman, don't forget, has already made a 3. Yilmaz goes out under control, you know, and that's why Osman had to make the drive. And how's about this? The 17 points, well, 14 points in the season coming into this, and he nails 5. Look at that, Yilmaz gets out the way. Osman's playing for the foul there. Doesn't get any contact. And oh, I can see why Poirier is asking for a challenge, saying Gabriel touched that. And the question is, as always, is it conclusive on the video evidence?
Well, the referees look like they're going to take a look at this
system. I love when the referees don't get it right all the time.
Yeah, I think, you know, we've been chatting through the season. We just hope they can be a little bit quicker with their reviews sometimes.
Well, I mean, we can. If that's the worst thing we have to worry about, then we've got a perfect product. You know, these games this season have been nothing but sensational.
It's been a marvelous season, the 25th anniversary edition, and for the first time ever, the EuroLeague's going to take its brand outside the continent of Europe. Larkin from distance!
Yeah, and Yilmaz again, you see that, he didn't panic, hands off to Larkin, holds stills to set the back screen, which drops Kendrick Nunn to the deck, and Larkin, been there, done it, got 2 rings, nails the triple. Yeah,
Martin, those things don't show up in score sheets. There you go. There's a pick which opens up Larkin. None of that appears in a stat sheet.
Exactly.
But what a great piece of play by Yilmaz to open up the opportunity for Larkin.
And what an inspired decision by Coach Banky to start it.
For sure.
You know, he says, look, you know, 48 hours ago, he hasn't played, his legs are fresh, he's looking good in practice, and listen to the rapture he will get from the fans. And what challenge does this set for anybody who replaces him? Because now he's set the moon and they would sell out. This is one of the ultimate sporting challenges in basketball, certainly, in all sport as well.
Gabriel, his shot off the mark. Good extra effort by Wenyen Gabriel. Still at it. And he turned it over. Pass ahead. Thompson attacks. And we've got a foul here, so we'll get free throws for FS. There's Rodrigue Beaubois. Not available tonight, injured, but supporting his team from behind the bench.
You know, when the players aren't available, it's almost as if they don't exist. Great hustle from Gabriel.
Yeah, super.
Shouldn't have taken the first shot, and then does the right thing, gets 2 offensive rebounds, and what happens? His teammates aren't even thinking he's going to finish. And here, Jerian Grant, who's been just a world-class defender over the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, he's the guy who's grown into his career as well, Martin. He was the MVP of the Euro Cup when he played for Turk Telekom. He first appeared on the EuroLeague stage with Olympia Milano. Just couldn't find a place for himself.
He couldn't get on the rhythm. That team, they had Chacho, you know, they had Sergio Rodriguez.
I think Malcolm Delaney
there,
group
so
too,
hard to get into. Whereas now, you know, effectively, Coach Ataman's giving him the ball. He's running the point spot between him and Slukas.
Made 1 3 already tonight. Now he calls for a ball screen from Yurt Saban, who's in the game. Larkin closes quickly. Oh, great extra pass. Terrific sharing of the basketball by Grant. And the 3 is good for Mitalu.
Yeah, and that time Osmani went and put pressure up on Grant. But that's what happens when you double team Kendrick Nunn. Somebody's going to be open. And what Panathinaikos have been able to do is have the patience to find the open hand.
Well, Larkin, just like Nunn, drawing a crowd. Foul here on Mitalu just at the last 5 or 6 seconds in the shot clock.
Well, you better believe, you talk about scouting reports and defensive systems for Kendrick Nunn. Panathinaikos have got one for Shane Larkin, which is they don't want to have him easy penetration to the basket.
Osmani trying to manufacture a shot, tough. Good defense by Panathinaikos, and Osman claims the defensive rebound. Here's Osman now, getting ahead of steam. He'll go right to the window and laying up and in coast to coast from the former FS player.
Well, you see that the confidence that Cedi Osman has picked up as the season has worn on. And contrast that to the play that Osmani did the other end. That's a better play for Osmani. I don't care if he misses it.
Yeah, but
shoot the ball with confidence.
Yeah.
Whereas Cedi Osman went to the cup to get it done. And you can see Poirier anticipates Osman is causing trouble for his team right now. When I talk about the runs, Panathinaikos started this game out on a 7-2 burst. Then Efes pull it back, they stretch out, turn it into a 13-9. Now the momentum is with Panathinaikos. I said it. We're not going to have a double-digit blowout tonight. These two teams know each other now. This game is going to be more of a chess match at some point in time.
Yeah, it's funny, Martin, because during the regular season, round 15 back in December, Efes won 93-67. In round 26, Panathinaikos won 104-89. So the regular season games are a little bit lopsided, but this playoff series has been tight.
Yeah, but you know, you almost throw out the regular season now. That's a great move by Nunn. That was a great move, because once he got to his left hand, you see Smits panicked and turned his back to try and chase him left, and Nunn, watch him go back here. Gets on the back of Roland Smits, so he's at his mercy. What Smits should have done was just stop, stand still, let him have the layup. Instead, you commit the foul, and Nunn gets more momentum at the free throw line.
So Lorenzo Brown in the game now for Coach Ataman as Nunn goes to the charity stripe for his second visit.
Yeah, and Jerian Brown, he's another one of those players, a star, you would say, when he came to this club, but he has not played a lot in this series. So maybe Coach Ataman's going to, give him some extra court time, see if he can get something out of him the same way as Efes have got something out of Yilmaz.
Yeah, Brown in his first season with Panathinaikos, he came across from Maccabi Tel Aviv. Maccabi Tel Aviv lost Brown, Bonzi Colson, and Wade Baldwin. And of course, Colson and Baldwin are going to go to the Final Four with Fenerbahce. They swept Paris 3-0. Turu on the floor for his first action. Here's Thompson.
Wow, that's a hell of a catch by
It sure was.
You know, Danaturu, let's say, is underappreciated somewhat offensively. He has got magnificent shooting touch.
Just his second season, both of them with Efes. Now he gets a turnover. Here's Bryant for his first action. Extra pass to the corner. Smits, can he make it? Got it.
Wow. Well, both teams, Liam, are giving us what we paid for in terms of, if you bought a ticket, you're having a show put on for you right now. These teams are shooting the lights out, playing hard-nosed defense, giving it all they've got. Don't tell me Panathinaikos is trying to take it easy and just go back to Athens and wait for game 5.
Yeah, both teams been good from behind the arc. Efes 4 of 6, Panathinaikos 3 of 6. There's a miss. Back come Efes. Larkin's played every minute so far. Yeah, great pass to Oturu, who lays it up and in. Easy deuce for Efes.
Yeah, I said in game 3, someone would say because Poirier had an off night, so maybe it was the bigs, but Danaturu has been an able replacement for him, and he's had an outstanding start to this one.
So smart, so positive by Osman as he attacks Smits on the drive. Smits protests his innocence.
Well, the point here, this we're talking about, watch, he knows the foul is coming. That's why it was so good when Yilmaz got it without doing one before. Smits is saying, I'm playing good defense, ref. You are, but the body contact happens. Osman's career, you've got to get out of the way. Or you've got to get in front of him, which is too much, you can't do because he's that much quicker than you.
There's Matthias Lesor. And we hope he comes back to action next season. As PJ Dozier checks in, he was a game-time decision for Efes.
Well, we'll see how bad his finger is. Well, it's going to be as if somebody chops it. Not sure which finger he injured in game 3. If it's on his shooting hand, that will limit him offensively.
Cedi Osman in his 5th EuroLeague season.
You see that heavily strapped right hand of Dozier. But Dozier gives this play, gives Efes much more than offense. He's got that toughness, you know, a hard-nosed player, and also he's got the size. He can contest the shooters like Cedi Osman, and he's got the quickness to defend him.
Well, here he is now with his first touch. Dozier guarded closely by Nunn. Just over a minute to play here in the first frame. FS with a 3-point lead. Got contact away from the ball. And now Yurtseven will have a word with the referee.
It's Hernan Gomez.
I beg your pardon.
You want Yurtseven in the game so bad, don't you?
I'm trying to get him in.
Okay, I'll call it.
Well, that's a tough call there. I mean, it could have gone on Smits as well.
Yeah, but the thing is that, again, the defender is always going to lose out in that contest. You know, if that was a guard against a big man, maybe he'd have got the call, but big on big, the ref's going to give the ball to the offensive player.
Larkin, step back three. Just rimmed out as you hear the arena groan.
Well, you got to take that shot. That's what I said. Your stars have to step up, and you need to have a surprise, somebody to give you some numbers that you wouldn't expect.
Larkin with 5 so far in this quarter. None. That shot's too strong, and Hernan Gomez will recycle it.
That's great defense.
Yeah, really good defense by Dozier, as you were talking about, Martin. And here it is. Well, FS did everything except get 10 digits on the basketball. They finally caused a shot clock violation. So terrific defense by the hosts.
Yeah, that defense on the ball. Dozier on Kendrick Nunn. Didn't panic when Nunn picked up the basketball. Closed him down. You see there? That's strapping on that right thumb that he injured in game 3. It's ripped off if the game stays close. Players just get frustrated having any kind of constraint.
About a 3-second differential between shot clock and game clock. FS with the ball. Panathinaikos do have 1 foul to give. Here's Dozier. Rides the middle screen. Gets deep. The scoop and score is off the mark. Panathinaikos look to break. Here's Brown in the open floor. Brown stops and just can't convert it. Well, here's the 5 on the floor now as we start the second quarter. Bryant, Dozier, Nwora for his first minutes. Roland, Smits, and Oturu for FS. Both teams have been straight man-to-man so far. Smits will probe. Yeah, just a bit too unselfish, wasn't it, Martin?
Well, just hesitant. You know, he's not been... If you're the prime scorer, you know you need to shoot that, which is what he's supposed to do. But instead, he's like, I've got to move the ball on, play banky ball. No, we need points.
Speaking of points, what a great feed from Jetty Osman to Yurtseven, who flushes.
That is Yurtseven.
There he is. I finally got him identified now correctly.
Well, you talk about the injured hand of PJ Dozier. That's you seeing it there, because that's 2 scoop and score layups he's gone from. Both have missed badly.
Yeah, Wancho wide open as FS don't match up correctly in their transition defense. 2 easy baskets for Panathinaikos as we start the second quarter. And Bryant wants to slow things down here for FS.
Well, this unit here for FS needs to perform. Bryant has been quiet. You talk about him being one of the glue players. You need Jordan Nwora, who's been almost missing in action, to step up and do something. And there, the turnover. Elijah Bryant with the penetration and kick. Is it Jerry and Grant gets in the way? Oh, no, Hernan Gomez just steps up, takes the charge.
Yeah, Martin, these are the little things that are so important, right? As Hernan Gomez puts his body on the line, great feed here from Osman. But those little things like Yilmaz coming in and giving positive minutes in what could be a decider.
In a game that's a series that's been as tight as this one, it's going to be something like that. You know, the MVP will probably be the leading scorer, but there's going to be plays that are not going to go right way like that. Remember earlier in game first period, Yilmaz sets the perfect ball screen and gets the 3-pointer. Hernan Gomez tries to do the same play and gets called for an offensive foul, except he was moving, so it was a good call.
So Gomez drew a charge on the defensive end, but turned it over on the offensive end. FS get the ball back. Here's Nwora. Going to test the defense of Osman. Shot clock running down. Here's Bryant. A crazy shot from Bryant, but it's again good defense. Panathinaikos.
Well,
nothing
he wants
easy
the foul,
for FS,
doesn't he? And the physicality is something we hear talked about an awful lot. That's physical defense from Yurtseven, just getting in the way. And what he's doing is he's retreating the whole time. So it's not a lateral move, it's an actual backwards one. See PJ Dozier's taking the his hand isn't right. Those 2 layups, he'd normally make at least one of them, but he missed the second one badly.
So Thompson back on the floor for Coach Banke. Here's Osman. Spins. Class. What a finish from Jetty Osman.
How good has he been to start this game?
Well, he's been so good, he's going to cause a timeout for his former club. And Cedi Osman with a classy finish to send both teams
ready for this game.
We should say in that Madrid game last night, the great and the good was there. Courtois, the Real Madrid goalkeeper, was in the front row. Madrid lost to Olympiacos in what was a great game last night, wasn't it?
He could have played some defense on that big three that Bezenkov hit. The one he hit he was being draped over by the defense. Look, what a great game that was. What a great battle back by Olympiacos.
Lucas, who used to play for Olympiacos, Osman, he's on fire right now. Cedi Osman, 11 points for the 16.
And look how much is he enjoying this. You better believe he knows he's back at his boyhood club in a game that seriously means something.
Bryant lets fly, got it, strings it. Elijah Bryant, what's he got for us tonight?
Sometimes players like Bryant, they do so much for their teams. You know, they need to recognize when they need to take the scoring load. Bryant does a bit of everything. He guards the best player defensively, he rebounds, he passes the ball. Tonight they need him to score.
Well, you're saving. Woo. Just rimmed out. Good second effort. Powers it up inside. It just can't convert, but you love the endeavor of Yurtseven. Now you love Arturo.
Oh, he blew it.
Just misses.
Oh, hey, you know we were talking about the physical nature before when Yurtseven took the drive. Was it the drive from Bryant and he didn't get no foul? That's why it wasn't called at the other end. I love it when the referees let him play, but Arturo took up and thought, slam dunk, oops, no, it's not, but how's about this for hustle? And he gets underneath, and there, Yurtseven, he can ask the referee, didn't, but the call there, that's a soft slap on the wrist compared to body up, big man basketball that we love so much.
Well, I love the fact that Arturo is a rim runner, so he's defending the goal on the defensive end, and then he runs the length of the floor. And as you say, Marty, he just didn't elevate enough to flush it. Well, poor Yurtseven is having a stern talking to by Coach Ataman.
Well, because you know what he's saying to him? He's saying, look, he just beat you up with your body at one end, and then you're going to go and slap him like Mr. Softy down here. Man up. Give us your best. You know, don't tell me that Panathinaikos want to get to game 5. Coach Ataman, he wants it done now.
Remember, of course, Ataman coached Anadolu Efes for many years. He led him to 2 titles. Osman, scoop and score, he can't miss. Cedi Osman Martin is 4 from 5 from the floor, 1 from 3 from behind the arc. He's perfect from the stripe. Yilmaz back on the floor for the hosts. When does Larkin come back into the game? Bryant on the baseline, that's tough. Just can't convert.
That's a difficult shot for Bryant. But at least he's taking it. You know, they've had some players hesitant to shoot the ball. Sometimes as a player, you just recognize the unit on the floor and say, hey, well, I'm open. I need to have the guts to pull the trigger like this man here, because he's got no conscience right now, Cedi Osman, and rightly so.
I love the fact that Slukas found him there too, right? Give him a little touch, couldn't convert. Bryant, tough pass and 1. Well, good patience and poise here from Elijah Bryant. Lets the play develop.
Yeah, but also he recognizes that with this unit on the floor, he's getting double teamed.
Yeah.
So he knows, a bit like Slukas at the other end, somebody else is open. And Cedi Osman frustrated with himself because he knows he's not going to win a battle against Osmani. But don't forget, this is his first break. He's played every moment of this game. He's played the first 15 minutes of the game. So you'll forgive him a mistake, since he's just given you 13 points and kept this game tied. Well, Nina Matoglu trying to argue the referee about who stepped in the lane first. The referees generally, once they've made the call, they do it. This isn't one you're going to want to review. The senior official, Senor Perez, stepped in. Generally, they just let him, they're going to go jump ball, because one referee. Okay, so the original call, referee says Matoglu steps in first, so shoot the free throw again, which is normally what happens. But actually, the referee got it right the first time, because Poirier stepped in and stepped back out before Osmani shot the ball. Metoglou was in the lane when he shot the basketball. And now you make a drama out of a crisis. We end up with a jump ball.
Well, in a close game like this, these decisions sometimes can be weighty.
Well, this could end up going against Panathinaikos if Efes win the jump ball. But no, it does not. Right, get back to the action. Let's not talk about free throw gate.
Panathinaikos win the tap, and here's Grant now, who'll start the offense. Kendrick Nunn moves on to the off guard. And Grant's pass just too high for Hernan Gomez. I think they got their wires crossed, and nobody wants to look at Coach Martin when you turn the ball over.
Well, here's the point, right? The first 3 games, the guards have penetrated and kicked out to the bigs for threes. Hernan Gomez in game 1, Metoglou in game 3. Grant is throwing for a 3-point shooter, but what's happened? Hernan Gomez decides to go to the basket.
Thompson, his shot short.
Yeah, well, Thompson's probably feeling the pressure. Not that he heard me call him out, but he's being called out to give them something. As I said, he's the player that averages double figures on the season, and he's not really giving up the big numbers. Had a 3-pointer in the first quarter. Quiet since then.
He had that great year with Baskonia.
That's a tough bucket.
Bryant converts.
Well, here's the point about the physical play there. Once you recognize the referees aren't going to call the foul, suddenly you concentrate a little bit better. Bryant's going in, knows he's going to get the bump, and so he plays a little higher on the backboard with the layup.
Here's Slukas.
Doing the old Billy Spanoulis, dribble to the lane and keep a hand on it. How's about that Larkin getting in amongst the trees for the rebound?
Now numbers on the break. Thompson lets fly, just can't fall for him. Had a clean look at it. Back-to-back 3 misses by Thompson, but look at the good hustle. That's Darius Thompson trying to have an influence on the game.
Well, he shot that 3, and he was already running back on defense before the ball had left his hands, and this is why, because he knows if he misses, Kendrick Nunn is streaking out. See,
here's that move that you were talking about,
feels the
Martin.
contact, and he goes higher on the backboard. More importantly, he gets to his strong hand. He goes to the right when he knows he can put up some points. Well, talk about going deep to your bench now. Anadolu hasn't played a single minute in this playoff series, and now he's in there guarding Kendrick Nunn. You know why? They want to be physical with Kendrick Nunn.
He's got fouls to give, no doubt.
The kick of the ball. That's and look, what Coach Adam is saying is, look, move. He's a hatchet man. He's out there to be physical and commit fouls if necessary.
Did Nunn get away with one there, Martin, or is that just good hard play?
Get out of town. You know me, I'm at 9,000 years old.
Well, Hernan Gomez with the stuff off the nifty feed from Nunn. And there's where that deep basket cut actually paid off. He and Nunn combined well there.
But the cut was in front of him, so Nunn could see him coming. The last turnover, Jerry Grant's throwing behind him.
Slick passing here by Efes to find Bryant. He just couldn't make the open 3. And Efes, as a team right now, 5 for 11 from behind the rainbow.
Well, no one's complaining about the shooting percentages for either side. Even Pana at 3 for 9.
Oh, what a great feed from Hernan Gomez. He slides it along to Metoglou.
Yeah, look, this is talk about the quote-unquote role players, the unsung heroes. Metoglou suddenly is on 7 points. But great passing. Both teams 8 assists already, but also 6 turnovers. So that's the nervousness, the turnovers. That's a nice catch. Got to finish that play, though.
It's numbers here now for Panathinaikos if they could push. Pass slightly behind Hernan Gomez. And a good piece of defense here again. Who? The guy who's just come off the bench trying
Yilmaz.
Yeah.
Told you, the star of the show. It's the unsung heroes. Coach Hernan Juancho wants it reviewed, and he knows better. You can't review a foul. Foul's a foul. Oh, no, it's Osdemiroglu. Excuse me. Sorry.
No, right. Join the club.
Yeah, okay. Well, at least I didn't say Yurtsev. That's beautiful passing.
It is a great pass from Hernan Gomez to Metoglou. And you love it when the bigs share the basketball between each other.
You remember when Hernan Gomez and his brother both came to the EuroLeague? You know, both came to say
Hernan Gomez.
Yeah, but it was Billy who had the much more heralded. But Juancho has been, well, second team All EuroLeague, shows how good he's been.
Yeah. Great drive by Larkin. Gets it back from Osmani. Just great combination. Really good two-man game between Osmani and Larkin.
Kostas Sloukas has got a point there. He may have traveled, but I think the foul happened first. Well, Larkin knows. See the foul, he definitely traveled, but after the foul. You know, Larkin, a bit like Nunn, he knows the defense is coming. They're going to double team him, they're going to challenge him, they don't want him to have open looks. And so he's trying to move the basketball on. And what you need then is the player who receives the ball to be ready to complete the play. Osmani now going to make the free throws. At the other end, you've got Hernan Gomez and Matoglu, who are completing the plays when the likes of Kendrick Nunn gets double teamed.
Just the first foul on Gabriel, but he's going to step out. Martin, this is Osmani's second season, and he's improved so much from last year. He's got himself in the starting lineup. Yeah, he started 33 of 37 games this season.
Well, he's one of only 4 players on this FS team that played all 37 games. Wow. Whereas Panathinaikos have only got 2 players who played every game. So he stays healthy, he's consistent, and he's a good defender.
Speaking of good defenders, there's your man, Larkin. We'll get it back. Larkin directing traffic here between the circles. Did he double dribble? I guess not. He just picked it up.
Well,
who touched it last?
I think that came off Poirier. Well, the stumble from Larkin. I don't know. Did Nunn get a piece of that? Well, Poirier isn't asking for it, so you know, he's saying, well, you know what he's saying? He's like, Shane,
shoot it.
I've seen your paycheck. Shoot the ball. You know, that's what he wants. Poirier's going in for the rebound.
Yeah, don't pass me into trouble.
And look, and this is what happens all the time. This is the communication that you need. It's not that it was a bad pass, but I'm expecting you to shoot that one.
Well, neither team can shake free of the other. The largest lead by either team has been 5 points tonight. We've had 7 lead changes. Remember, all 3 of the games so far have been decided by single digits.
Well, now referee, now this is an interesting one, because the ball came off the leg. Nothing was, so there's no call here. And now the referee changed and says it's got a kick ball. They say it's delayed, and this is what Osmani's asking about. So you didn't call anything when he hit my leg. So what, you tried, Osdemiroglu, was it him?
Yeah.
No, it was you. Osmani kicked the ball. It's the right call, it was just delayed.
A little bit late. So 14 seconds in the front court here for Panathinaikos. FS, good foul discipline. They've got fouls to give here down the stretch. I think Larkin's going to burn one here. You can see, Martin, how physical it is.
Well, denying Sloukas was okay, but slapping a hole, trying to get that ball. They're so hungry to get the steal. Both teams with 4 steals already in this game. You know, this game is worthy of playoff basketball. You have to say that. And as I said, each of the first 3 games, there's been a double-digit lead that the other team has come back from. I told you tonight, this one's going to go to the wire. This one's just nip and tuck, because they've got this. They know each other's best weapons. They know what they've got. Oh, great hesitation. Poirier's second foul. The hesitation from Nunn there freezes the defense. You had Saban trying to get back in Coach Adaman's good books. Tries to throw it down like a real big man should. Well, I see what Poirier is saying. Poirier said, I'm protecting. See, Poirier protects the rim. He's vertical, actually gets the ball. Ooh. But, you know,
just that little contact, man.
You know, look.
Depends who you're playing with.
Well, okay, well, you know, if I'm playing with a couple of softy guards, maybe. But this is the whole thing of players. Poirier's not making a massive complaint about it, because he's saying another day I'll get that call, goes my way. No, one of the X factors in a game like this is the officiating. You know, does the referee decide that's a foul or not? And if he does, can you make the free throws?
He makes 1 of 2. Yurt Saban in his 3rd EuroLeague season. 2 years with Fenerbahce. Just his 1st season with Panathinaikos. Nice pass to Poirier. And Poirier with a finger roll finish.
And he's looking for the foul back. He's saying to the referee, hey, you just called one on me.
Well, heady play from Panathinaikos. There's a block from Vincent Poirier. You mentioned earlier, Martin, that Poirier had 5 blocks earlier in this series.
Well, how's about the hustle? First, he's arguing with the referee for the foul. Then he's like, oh, got to get back. And how's about that? Because he's made the layup at the other end, and then he beats his whole team back on defense. Look, the big man stretches his legs. Go get him, big fella. Great block. And then Cedi Osman steps. Well, somebody steps on the baseline with the basketball.
I think it's none on the rebound. So
what a game this is.
We're going to wind down this first half. Less than a minute to play before the halftime intermission. Efes just up a point. Each team should have a possession. Panathinaikos do not have fouls to give. Thompson inside to Poirier. Wouldn't drop.
Well, Poirier reportedly carrying a bit of a knee injury, but he knows he, for his standards, underperformed in game 3. He's certainly getting himself in the thick of the action here. First with the block, and then drawing the foul at the other end. No question, Kendrick Nunn steps out of bounds.
Poirier, a EuroLeague champion back in 2023 with Real Madrid. Just his first year here with Anadolu Efes. French international.
You know, Liam, you get down the stretch, the first half's winding down, teams going to the locker room. You start asking yourself, well, so what adjustments will the coaches make? Coach Banky, I think, has been inspired by using players who haven't had any court time for the series.
For sure.
Roglu and Yilmaz have been outstanding.
Well, Panathinaikos' last possession here. Just 2 points between the teams. Brown's pass somehow finds the hands of Nunn, who's bottled up, and Kendrick Nunn can't convert. He's appealing for a foul, and did he get a technical?
Well, Ozdemir Roglu was the man who sealed Kendrick Nunn. I think he's got the tee, picks up a technical foul, but you see the defense, Ozdemir Roglu, they get the ball to Nunn, and they force him right. Yeah. This time they had the baseline as the second defender, so he tries to turn back out of it. He wants a foul, doesn't get it, and argues the referee. That's how he gets the technical foul. Look at that defense. Ozdemir Roglu not letting him on that left hand. Does he get fouled? Absolutely gets fouled, no question. Referee missed the call. Just say that happens regularly. You did get fouled, but they're not going to come back and change it, Kendrick. And you know that. That's just the emotion. That's why we love watching this stuff, Liam.
Well, it's going to be one shot for the technical foul.
And then they'll get the ball back.
They get the ball back.
Probably about half court. It was 3.2 when it stopped. Is that going to... They'll check the clock.
It's the first foul on Nunn, so he's not in foul trouble. But he's going to be on his best behavior in the second half. He's going to come out. We'll see if the referees take a look at this now.
Coach Atman goes to the defensive unit while the referees...
To add to our rivalry series next season. So congratulations to Hapoel, and of course it was a coach who knows the EuroLeague well who led him here.
Well,
Coach Itoudis.
Dimitri Itoudis.
Well, if you were with us in the first half, welcome back. If you're just joining us from somewhere else, a warm welcome to you from wherever it is that you've come. Got an early stoppage in the play here.
Well, Dina Matoglu, you heard about Coach Adaman saying he wants to see aggressivity. I love that when he says it. But Matoglu just grabs a hold of Osmani. The referee's calling that foul. As I said, the offensive player gets the benefit of the doubt more often than not, especially when arms and hands get involved.
Thompson picked up his dribble early. Shot clock running down. Right now, Efes are all out of sorts. But a good basket cut from Osmani and a great pass from Poirier.
Smart move there. What the old adage goes, if in doubt, go to the basket. And Poirier stayed composed. He was looking for a guard, but Osmani cut to the cup. Matoglu's still trying to be aggressive. This is what his coach told him, is to get up on them.
Martin, look at the defense of Shane Larkin. He was blanketing Kendrick Nunn. And the mid-range jump shot is good.
So what happens, he gets to go left. That's why they put him on his right hand. Nothing you could do about that. Both the teams have come out incredibly physical on the defensive end.
There's your 5 on the floor for the hosts. Larkin, Bryant, Thompson, Osmani, and Poirier.
Wow.
Osmani, strong drive, couldn't convert. And Poirier in traffic on the second effort. The tip-in is good.
Well, Poirier was quiet himself. 1 of 5. That's his first field goal in this game. He said he had to be big in this night.
None shot, no good. Last touch by Yurtseven.
Yeah, but is he asking his coach for the review? It's one of those things saying, Coach, I didn't do it. Well,
See here.
He did. I think he does get that one last. Yeah, he's over the top. And look, again, you asked the question, if you review this, is the video evidence going to be conclusive? Which is why Coach Adaman says, let's get back on and play. And also coaches the bias against big men. That was a guard he trusted him.
Wow. You got it in early in the second half. My partner, Martin Henlett, 6'10", member of the Big Man's Union. Nice pass here. Osmani spreads it out. Bryant. Yeah, great spacing by FS and good vision by Osmani.
Well, you call unsung heroes. I call them role players. Osmani is the one who stepped up here. Yilmaz doesn't come off, starts on the bench in this second half. This 5 is more accustomed to the 5 we don't expect to see.
Our first double-digit lead of the night, and Slukas trims it down to 8.
Well, as I said, the likes of Slukas, 0 points. That's his first bucket of the game. The Stars will come to take over as this game wears on.
Bryant can't convert. He's got to pick himself off the deck. That's a rebound there from Yurtseven.
You know what Chetty's doing, going straight to the basket. And here's the thing with Chetty Osman, he's not changing his game plan. He gets the ball, he's going to put it on the floor and go to the basket. Someone from FS is going to get in front of him and make him stop.
15 for Chetty Osman. Bryant in space. That shot hit everything but the bottom. Wide open 3 from the corner.
Panathinaikos have definitely been a lot more hungry for the ball, I'd say, to start this half. Yurtseven has taken a couple of big rebounds. Do that as well when he drove down the lane. So let me get a foul on the big fella. I mean, he's drawn. How many fouls has he drawn already tonight, Kendrick Nunn? That's the thing that the Stars can do. He just keeps poking away at you, poking away. I'll make that 4 fouls he's drawn in this game so far. And it beats you down. You know, Poirier on 3 fouls. They do not want him to get in trouble. Wow, a rare miss at the free throw line. And the offensive rebounding again for FS. And don't forget, a few seconds ago, he said, oh, it's a 10-point lead. Gone.
Yeah, there you go.
That's how tight these two teams are.
Back to 1 possession game. It's 3 points. As you saw, the faithful fans of Panathinaikos here. Good to see them supporting their team in this. Martin, are you surprised that Poirier is staying on the floor with 3 fouls? There's Krunoslav Šimon, Croatian international who played for FS.
2-time champion, of course, with them.
So again, do you think Poirier, 3 fouls? Oh, nice move by Thompson.
And there's nobody there. because he's got Bryant and Larkin are the normal outlets, and he can't find it. It's just not quite clicking with Darius Thompson. And sometimes that happens. It's not that he's a bad player or anything's going wrong. It's just sometimes you just lose your sweet spot.
Juancho rises on a cross-court pass from Slukas, and that is as sweet as it comes. We're not up at 45 each, so FS had a 10-point lead, which seems like a blink ago. And it's level now at 45 each on the strength of this three from Juancho Hernangomez.
10-0 run. Timeout's gonna be called. Back.
18 teams, 9 different countries, 15 cities in this continental competition. Of course, we're going to a new city, Abu Dhabi, at the end of this month for the Final Four. One of these two teams will join us. Who's it going to be? Poirier with those 3 fouls. Larkin, what a great kick. Can Thompson convert? He can. What a great pass from Shane Larkin.
Yeah, and you got to credit Coach Banky there. What he's done in that timeout is doubled down on his team's offensive set. He's saying, we're going to stick with it. We're going to penetrate, and we're going to kick to the corner for the open threes. 50% they are from three-point land.
Yeah, now, Martin, this is tough because Kendrick Nunn actually pushes Larkin into this foul here. Let's see if we can see it again. Nunn is really physical with Larkin.
Yeah, but he also gets out of the way afterwards and just... It's like he...
There's the push, see?
Yeah, but then Larkin's trying to get him, but he's got his back is turned. Remember what happened in the first half? When the ball handler sees the back of the defender, they go right at him because it forces the referee to make a decision.
You can see the experience there of Kostas Slukas with the ball in his hands now. Shot clock running down. Slukas, tough shot, and got it.
Good save him with the tip. What a second half he's having so far. I make that 3, is it 4 rebounds he's had? And that's just hustle, just tipping the ball home. A couple of offensive rebounds here. What happens to Poirier? Don't forget he's nursing a knee injury. I think he just caught something to the head.
Let's hope he's not concussed. We lost Sedotet Shanla in that Fenerbahce series against Paris. He took a concussion.
Yeah, but he got walloped.
By a teammate, as it happens, too.
He got walloped. The referee's going to have a look at this just to see who. I'm not even sure if it was Slukas that caught. It looks like Osmani catches him in the head. His own teammate gets him. Very young club, and already they're knocking on the door at the higher levels of the Euro Cup standing.
Well, Oturu comes in for Vincent Poirier, who goes into the corner.
Wow. Now that's one there that's interesting, because normally if a player gets tripped over, the referee automatically calls foul. This time, no, he says, no, there's nothing. Yurtseven gets away with it. There's no question he gets tripped. And normally you say, oh, look, I'm sorry, but I've got to call the foul. Referee's letting them play.
Exactly the midway mark here of the third quarter. Just 1 point in it. Slukas starting the offense. Oh, what a great pass by Jenny Osman. A delicious pass from Osman, and Slukas lays it up and in. Jenny Osman, his second assist tonight. But
the adjustment that FS have done is when Jenny Osman gets the ball, they know he's going to dribble, they attack him, but they left players open. What a ding-dong battle this is turning into.
Back and forth, back and forth. We've had 10 lead changes thus far. Slukas, a 4-time EuroLeague champion. Once Panathinaikos, once with Fenerbahce, twice with Olympiacos. Trying to get back to the promised land. Great feed to Osman, who goes right down Broadway for an easy stuff.
Well, the one thing we haven't gone back to, we touched on it at the beginning of the game, Liam, but fatigue will kick in now. Don't forget, this is their second game in 48 hours. You haven't had plenty of time to recover, so the defense will start to break down as this game wears on. Illegal screen going to be called there, Oturu. And that was not exactly his fault. He was just off balance when he caught the ball. So when he hands off to Larkin, look, he can't get out of the way. Kendrick Nunn, make sure the referee knows he got hit.
There's that feed from Jetty Osman. What a beautiful pass from Osman and a finish from Slukas. And Martin, we're told that Vincent Poirier is getting some stitches on the bench.
Yeah, well, he'll be back. Oh, great hands. So this game is just swinging back and forth. See, Elijah Bryant just made that the curse of the modern game.
I think it's Luka Banki's turn now to get a technical foul.
Well, what they're saying, Bryant is saying that he got fouled at half court. That's why he shot that crazy three-pointer. Coach Banky does get a technical foul, but this is what I don't like about the modern game. He thinks he gets fouled, and Slukas was trying to commit the foul. Yeah. The referee doesn't call it, but the moment they feel the contact, they shoot the ball.
Yeah, it's become a feature of the game, hasn't it, Martin? And I hope it's something that you're really going to look at in the offseason.
Well, there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, I'm not. This is the player's attitude. Play through it.
Yeah.
If it's a foul, take the foul. You don't have to try to get 3 free throws every time somebody fouls you. Because look, when it goes wrong badly.
Slukas dispatches the free throw.
Because Slukas tried to foul him and stopped playing.
Yeah.
So if Bryant had just kept going, they'd had a layup. Instead, you think, oh, get a foul, throw it up. You know, this Elijah Bryant's just a player who's just committed the incident. I won't call it the sin. It's just one of the frustrations that we have. The modern game is amazing. Don't get me wrong. It's developed in such a fantastic way. But there's certain things, players trying to turn everything into a shooting foul or a three-point foul.
And you think it's the responsibility of the players to sort that out rather than the rule changes?
You would coach them to not do it. But this game has been so physical, and the referees, well, I bet until that one happens, are saying they're not calling anything, and then they call that one, which is not dissimilar to the one that, look, he trips over his foot, I think, so he steps through.
Yeah, it's quite similar to the Aturu
no
on
goal.
the other end.
Yes,
yeah.
I know, but this is where Coach Banky's frustrated. But this is, you know, for all that, if you're a blue fan of Efes, you'd be frustrated right now. It's the beauty of the game. The referees are human beings. They don't get it right every single time. And I'm not saying, it's not that both call, one call was right, one call was wrong. What the coaches and the players want is consistency.
Yeah.
So if you don't call the one for Aturu, you don't call the one for Kendrick Nunn. That's all it is.
Referee's just going to board, but right to the hands of Yurtseven, and he converts on the second attempt.
Well, I'm glad it was the second attempt because Juancho probably asking for an assist. Kendrick Nunn was furious he didn't give him the basketball.
Osmani rises. That shot no good. Long rebound to Bryant. Oh, Thompson wanted it, didn't get it. Smits kicks. And Osmani knocks down a three. Little rhythm dribble to set the shot up and got it.
That's a shot he shoots every day in practice, but you would never see him shoot it in the game. That's what you need now, is the players to perform in the game the same way you do in practice. The only difference is there's 10,000 fans in the stand watching you.
And if you miss, you might lose. Juancho Hernangomez, speaking of not missing, he knocks down a three.
Well, Kostas Slukas, we said, hardly knew he was even in the stadium in the first half. So nervous, he forgot to put on his game jersey. But his third period, he has been a superstar. 5 points, 5 assists.
Well, that assist moves him into second all-time. He just passed Sergio Rodriguez, 1,875 assists. Slukas in his EuroLeague career, 15th EuroLeague season, over 400 games. He's trying to get his team a win to avoid a trip back to Athens. Yurtseven spreads it. Osman, who's had the hot hand all night. Thompson headmans it. He's got a foul here. I think it's on Kendrick Nunn.
Well, it's definitely on the pass, so they'll get the ball on the baseline. Get the opportunity. Well, it's just a hard foul. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a good call. It's the right call. Nunn definitely commits the foul.
Yeah. I think he's trying to say he went straight up in the air, but of course he was drifting, and
well, Coach
Banki's got to be careful too. He's got a technical.
He wants unsportsmanlike, because that would put, you know, Kendrick Nunn's already got a technical, but an unsportsmanlike, does it unsportsmanlike count the same as a technical?
Exactly. So he would be ejected from the game. As you see, Matthias Lasor.
Well, the most emotional player in Panathinaikos is the most calm.
Yeah.
Was it being challenged by Coach Banki? Should listen in.
It looked a normal foul to me.
Yeah, the coach's challenge is, oh, he's saying it's in the act of shooting. Well, he was definitely passing the ball. Well, was he trying to shoot that? No, I think, well, that's a difficult one, because he's gathered the ball. Is he on the way up? You tell me.
Well, he's gathered, Martin, but it looks like he's trying to throw a behind-the-back pass.
They're going to say he's trying to pass the ball. Confirmation of the assist. What a career this young, well, veteran.
Lona. Our Locust boys covering that one. Make the journey from Madrid to Barcelona to do that.
Tough bucket.
Great drive by Bryant.
Remember, we said in the first half, a couple of play times he went to the basket and didn't get any calls, so now he's going really physically and concentrating on making the shot rather than trying to draw the foul.
Last few seconds here in the third quarter. Hernan Gomez runs into a blue wall, turns it over. Bryant, little Euro step, and converts over Jerrion Grant.
Well, composure is the name of the game right now. Which team can stay focused? I mean, you know, this is a big basket, but look, he turns the defender, turns him and turns him again. He knows he's got size over Jerrion Grant. He just needs to get in. There's no help. Bologna, suddenly he became a star in the making. And what a job he's done with this FS team.
Right now, his club need to dig in and defend and try to get a stop as they lead by 3 at home. FS do not have a foul to give. Osman probes. Osman spins. Osman converts.
Just good old-fashioned basic footwork.
Now Panathinaikos with 1 foul to give here. Let's see how they manage it. 10 seconds left at the end of this third quarter. Bryant's had the hot hand for FS. Gonna go at Hernan Gomez. Step back 3 from Elijah Bryant. Little short.
That's a difficult shot against a bigger man fading away.
Perhaps not the best. Here's Savior with 9 points.
4 offensive boards, though. His team have got 12 total. Neither team really taking care of their own backboards.
Was a great feed from Grant, but we've got a foul. And is it on Wenyen Gabriel?
It's 3 seconds. It's a 3-second call on Wenyen Gabriel, still in the lane. See the referee make that 3-second call to turnover. Coach Banki was ready to get a technical. Oh, no, I'll take the turnover. No, sorry. No.
His demeanor changed.
That's a good call, though.
Instantly.
You know, referees, that's why we have 3 officials. Remember the days you used to have 2?
Yes.
Can you imagine refereeing this game with 2 referees? Well, it'd be a bloodbath out there.
Well, Poirier on the floor, he has 3 fouls. And he's fouled here by Wenyen Gabriel.
I told you you'd be back with those stitches. Stitches over the eye, it's like a boxer. You get knocked out, they're going to keep going. See, he's trying to be a passer. What they're trying to do is they're trying to feed. Shane Larkin is where they're trying to get, but they're trying to get to him via the big man. Poirier goes to pick and roll. Gabriel does the right thing, just foul.
Second foul on Gabriel. He's brought in as cover for Lasor when Lasor was injured. Gabriel started the season with Maccabi Tel Aviv. Larkin lets fly a shot just off the mark.
That's a shot he forced there because he was finally open. Never complain about Shane Larkin shooting the basketball.
Osman again.
Wow, what a night he is having.
Martin, Jetty Osman is 7 for 9 from inside the arc. He's got 19 points. His career high is 22. He might set a new one tonight.
Well, he's not thinking about career high right now. He's thinking about punching his ticket to Abu Dhabi. Smith's going to have to get the trigger pulled.
Good defense by Osman, who stood tall on the baseline.
And Yilmaz gets the foul. Banging on a point guard, see what happens. Never get the call. Watch on the weak side, the rebound. Yilmaz gets tangled up with Slukas. Guard goes down in the heat. Referee blows the whistle. You know, I love Dirk Nowitzki, one of the greatest players, European players of all time. He's got a lot to answer for with so many players going with this
one-foot step-back shot,
You know, Smith, but he's got 6 centimeters over Jerry Osman. Take a drop step and go up over the top of him.
Here's Slukas between the circles. Poirier's got to be careful with those 3 fouls guarding on the perimeter. And Gabriel's got no interest in being an offensive player. Osman just rimmed out for him.
Well, this game is turning into desperation. It could turn, oh, beautiful penetration. But
it is such a great give by Larkin. He bisects 2 defenders on the screen and then moves it on 1 pass.
This is one of those strange, rare times, I'd say, if Yilmaz lays that up with his left hand, he gets an and 1. He goes for the dunk, which is fine.
Yeah.
But if he tries to lay that up, he's going to get the foul anyway. Gabriel close to getting the clean block. And you're not going to complain about a guy trying to dunk on somebody.
No, no, you like people going up strong, don't you? Yeah.
You know, what a good, you know, this is, Coach Banky is rolling the dice. We know PJ Dozier's struggling badly with that left hand, that right hand, that shooting hand of his.
Yeah, Martin, so I'm looking at the 5 on the floor for FS, and I'm wondering, you know, it's an elimination game for you. You don't win this, your season's over. You've got 8 minutes in the 4th quarter. It's a 1-point game. Do you ride your horses, or when do you bring your best 5 on the floor?
You've got to give players a blow. Players are the last one that you would ask the question is whether or not they need a rest. This is what the coach is getting paid for. You've got to marshal your troops. You use them at the right time. Players will get tired, not just physically, but psychologically and emotionally. And as intense as this game has been, quite right, you've got to sit down, Brian, for a minute.
Here's Nunn. When does he go off in this contest?
Well, this is why Dozier's in the game now.
Osman gives it back to Nunn.
Wow, what a hustle.
And Yilmaz with the steal. He'll give it up, 1 pass, unselfish play, as PJ Dozier lays it up and in.
Well, Dozier's in the game to try and his defense on Kendrick Nunn. Because when they switch across, that's what they want him to do. It's a defensive star, that's what Dozier is, tough-nosed defender. Wow, this game, you cannot tell me you're any closer to knowing what's going to happen here. That's definitely a foul.
No doubt about it. Very much in the balance. Grant picks up the ball to get the offense started here for Panathinaikos. And Hernan Gomez just lost his feet. Yilmaz to the 10! And a foul from behind by Jenny Osman. Well, hard foul here from Osman. Old school basketball.
Well, back-to-back mistakes from Panathinaikos. Fans, of course, but again, that's what, if you were in practice, you'd run him down the foul from behind. He's trying to block the shot.
Yeah.
You send him to the free throw line. The thing is, the time before, Yilmaz looked back and said, I'm going to drop it off for the layup. This time he decides, I'm going to try and get the slam dunk. And of course, his national team teammate takes him out.
Now, he's been influential, Martin. You know, he had that baseline cut and the pass from Larkin. He went up to stuff it, drew the foul. Had the turnover last possession, turnover this possession.
Well, Yilmaz here. Next point he scores will be a career high. And again, you've got to go back to Coach Banky, trusting in his squad. And don't forget, he joined this team mid-season.
Yeah.
And he's seen something in the attitude of Erkan Yilmaz that says, I want him to start this game. He's going to have a big role to play.
Here's another shocking statistic for you. Yilmaz has not shot a free throw all season until tonight.
Yeah, and that's why you're seeing him miss them like that too. 1 of 4. As important as Yilmaz has been, I hate to say this, but you know, this game is going to be decided by the stars. It's going to be Larkin and Nunn that make the plays that decide the outcome of this one.
That's a bomb from Kendrick Nunn, and he banks it home.
Right on time. Thank you, Kendrick. As I say, the stars will make the difference. And only he or Larkin could get away with shooting that one.
Smits rises.
Oh,
Rattles home the three. Roland Smits off the assist from Shane Larkin, his 7th assist. Larkin on course for a double-double, 9 points and 7 assists for the American. And this is the 4th foul on Poirier. Martin, these are fouls. If you're a big man, you hate these fouls.
yeah, he can take that one, though. He knows that's a risky one to go for. Got his arm around him, trying to break up the pass. It's a foul. You're not going to dispute
sure,
that.
yeah.
But what he's playing, the reason why he can get away with going for it is because Aturu is a relevant backup for him. It's not a problem for him to be replaced by him. Of course, they want Poirier out there. He's got the championship experience.
They won the title with Real Madrid in 2023. The 4th foul on Vincent Poirier.
A calculated risk in a way.
He stays on the floor for FS. No subs coming to the scorer's table. None. No good. Look at your Saban's work on the backboard, trying to keep it alive. And Larkin runs it down.
13
Larkin rises. Just short. You can tell when he released it.
He was playing for the foul there as well. He knows he's leaning in. He's that stop on a dime, quick release. Slukas too smart. Veteran, just pulled his body away. That's from watching a lot of video. You see these guys play, you see how their shooting action is, and that's Poirier is done.
If that's 5, my goodness.
And that was a mistake for Poirier. Because Osman steps away and he levels him, he takes him, he throws that shoulder. And Osman had got his feet set, and that's where the 5th foul is called for Poirier. That's big now. You see how the likes of Arturo, it's Smits who replaces him.
Smits and Osmani right now, the bigs for FS. Dozier strips Lucas, loose ball. And the shot from Nunn just wouldn't fall.
What a rebound, what defense from Dozier. Smits needs to draw the foul here. Matoglu's going to be physical with him.
Yeah, there it is. My partner's a prophet.
Well, what FS wants to do, well, say they want, this coach will want them to do now is get the fouls, get to the bonus. Long way to go. I made that the 4th, is that the 3rd or the 4th team foul?
I think it's the 4th.
Matoglu's a really aggressive defender. So look, there's the 4th foul. So both teams now, next foul will send them to the free throw line the rest of the way. And the referees, they're not going to swallow the whistle now. They're going to call it tight. The emotion of this game continues to increase.
Shot clock running down. Good defense by Slukas, and then the foul from Dozier.
And see, we get free throws for that. So Slukas not only forces a almost steal, but then he draws the foul and he's going to get free throws off the back of it. This was how important getting into the bonus with such a long way left. Good hands from Slukas. And then look, he looks at Dozier, sees he's coming, takes the contact and goes down.
It just shows you his experience.
Well, he's got 4 rings for a reason.
He does, and we now know he's just passed Sergio Rodriguez. He's 2nd all-time in assists behind his national team teammate Nick Galatas.
You know, the only person who doesn't care about that is Kostas Slukas. Why care about being number 2 on the list?
Exactly. Plays his 424th game tonight, 15th EuroLeague season.
No, I didn't have a career like Kostas Slukas. 15 years I played professionally. I never looked at my stats until I retired.
Is that right? Yeah.
You just don't. Who cares? What measures your measure of success is how many
titles
winners' medals you got. That's what people remember you for.
Slukas with 4.
You talk about Kostas Slukas, you say 4-time EuroLeague champion. You wouldn't say number 2 in assists.
Yeah, exactly.
In EuroLeague history.
It's a good ding-dong here between Nunn and Larkin. Bryant. I love that pass from Shane Larkin, just like skipping a stone on a pond. A little bounce pass to Bryant, who knocks down the corner three-pointer.
I said it will be the stars that decide this game. Nunn and Slukas for Panathinaikos, Bryant and Larkin for Efes.
Larkin's 8th assist. Slukas picks up his dribble. He's got to make something happen now. Osman.
Oh,
what a great offensive rebound by Yurtseven.
Wow, and I was about to say, you can't afford to foul Bryant and then Larkin. Physical with Kendrick Nunn. See Bryant aggressive with the block shot. Efes, of course, one of the best shot blocking teams in the EuroLeague this season, but you think Arturo and Poirier, not Elijah Bryant.
Martin, Panathinaikos have got 15 offensive rebounds. That's where you're really going to feel the absence of Poirier.
They had 8 in the first half, 7 in the first quarter.
And it's here by Osmani, just stepped out of bounds.
And they caught him stepping out of bounds. Matoglu, I thought for sure, just picked up his 5th foul. Referee makes a decision. And Osmani's got it. Well, the ref, once he makes it, the great steal. Oh yeah, he steps on the line. That's fair enough call. Osmani's going to say to the referee, Matoglu pushed him. But he definitely, when he picks up the ball, he puts down that second foot and he steps on the baseline. Panathinaikos get out of jail there.
Mitoglu, baseline jump shot, no good.
Doesn't have the magic as he had in game 3.
Dozier, deliberate here as he starts the offense. Larkin rides the pick. His pass deflected. Shot clock running down. Look at the feed. Easy basket for FS. And they're making a 2-possession game.
When PJ Dozier joined the EuroLeague, they said the big thing about him is he's a point guard, but he's got the size of a small forward. And there, what value he could see over the defense. And only he could spot the wide open big man. Oh, and a turnover. Yurtseven has been a hero throughout the second half. Then he turns into the chump as he can't handle the pass from Kostas Slukas.
There's the deflection, and this is what you're talking about, Martin.
Sees over the defense. You see Smits is open underneath, and of course, who's guarding Roland Smits? Omer Yurtseven.
Both ends of the floor.
He's praying there's not going to be a timeout. Well, he can find out later because he's sitting on the bench now. Again, Dozier sees over the defense.
Mid-range jump shot just rimmed out.
Big call here by Coach Atzman. Bring Hernan Gomez in place of Yurtseven. Kostas Slukas knows he's in the bonus and he's going after the fouls. Slukas sees that he's got a slow-footed big man on him, just dribbles at him. He'll go to the free throw line. And if you can't get if you're not scoring buckets, just draw fouls. That's what coaches love to see. And Slukas, 3 of 3 at the line already. You go back there. You look at that 3. Both teams have shot free throws. Something that FS will rue if they lose this game. They've missed 7 of the 13 free throws they've shot tonight. Meanwhile, Panathinaikos sure-footed, dead-eye at the line.
Slukas a 94% free throw shooter this season. And you're right, Martin. Panathinaikos are 11 for 14 from the stripe. FS 6 of 13.
Okay, granted, you know, Yilmaz hasn't shot a free throw all year. He's 1 of 4. That makes the numbers a little bit worse. But if you're shooting less than 50% of the line and the other team is shooting 85, things will be difficult for you. But somehow, they hold the lead.
You briefly saw Tibor Pleiss right there on the Panathinaikos bench. He former played for Anadolu Efes. Look at Hernan Gomez step hard on Larkin. Bryant had a chance to move it on one pass to Thompson. Instead, he pulled the trigger himself.
Yeah,
and rattles the rim.
He looked at it, he's like, Darius, you're not having a great time. Better for me to risk taking that shot. I've made my last 2.
It's been straight man-to-man throughout this game. Neither team has pressed. Slukas lost it. Slukas wants a call. He's not going to get it.
Well,
it's numbers of SF. Push.
3 for
Smits
3.
with a 3. And the arena groans as he misses.
Wow, and see Slukas sell the foul. Darius Thompson, I just feel for him. He's such a great quality player. There, Slukas just loses the handle. Well, yeah, maybe he did get fouled, but the referee's not going to call that. And then definitely sells that one. Darius Thompson. Just feeling the frustration. You know, when things are going well for you, Liam, it's like you hear Nigel Hayes-Davis talking about it. It's like you're on another level psychologically over everybody else, and Darius Thompson's not there right now. Slukas is always there.
Thompson, 7 points. He's 2 of 4 from behind the arc.
He hasn't scored a point in the second half, though, has he?
He came up with Baskonia, as did Shane Larkin. Their first foray into the EuroLeague. And there's Poirier, who's got stitches and 5 fouls to go with it. So Slukas to make it a 1-point game.
Well, we said at the start of this one it was going to be tight. FS have had that 10-point lead for a
went in a blink of an eye,
about 30
it?
seconds in the third period. Since, other than that, it's been tight as you like. And it's just been a game of runs.
Look how hard Kendrick Nunn's working on defense. Oh, the 3 is up and good.
Wow.
Osmani off the feed from Larkin. Larkin's 9th assist.
Well, for all the FS can't make a free throw, they're 12 of 26 from behind the 3-point line.
Can Panathinaikos respond?
Of course they can.
Wancho, as pure as you like, a corner 3-pointer, and it remains a 1-point ball game. Again, pick and pop action from Osmani. The pass off the mark. Here's Bryant now. Shot clock at 5. Bryant gets to the dots. The runner, no good. And Panathinaikos now get a chance to get a lead this trip down the floor. We've had 16 lead changes so far in this game. Just over a minute to play. Mitoglu pulls the trigger on a 3. It's too strong.
That was the dagger in game 3 that Mitoglu had. Can't convert that one.
He had 18 points in that game 3 win. FS up a point.
Need points. They're not done yet. Their defense is not going to carry this home. They need to put points on the board.
Bryant lets fly. Strikes it! Elijah Bryant making it rain here in the Basketball Development Center in Istanbul. And we've got a timeout from Coach Ataman as Elijah Bryant makes it a
defense.
Sideline out of bounds. In the front court.
Dozier, that's what he's on the game for.
None. Stripped!
Wow.
Great hands by P.J. Dozier.
Look, P.J. Dozier, his calling card is defense on a point guard. How's about that there? Time it. Just get his hands on the ball. And the frustration that Kendrick Nunn must feel. You're the MVP of the league, and then somehow you can't even get a shot away. But he is not done, I promise you.
Nunn off a screen, corner 3-pointer on the way. Got it! Kendrick Nunn knocks down a corner 3-pointer, and it's a 1-point ball game.
And they will get the ball back, so they'll play this straight.
You've got about a 7-second differential between shot clock and game clock. FS trying to seal the win here with this possession. Inside the Smits. Smits
no foul. Oh, and one. I thought he didn't call a foul there. I was like, they mugged him. Wow, Roland Smits. I said FS need points. How's about that? Again, Dozier sees over the defense.
Yes.
Beautiful basketball. PJ Dozier, one hand, has been the hero of the hour.
Just 2 assists, and they were both great passes. Look at the elation there on the FS bench.
Well, it fouls out one of the three-point shooters for Panathinaikos. Huge free throw here. He makes this, and then it doesn't guarantee the victory, but then it puts pressure on Panathinaikos because now they're down by 4. It'll be a 2-basket differential.
Smith's 85% from the stripe this season.
He won't have shot a bigger free throw than this one.
It's his first free throw of the night
in his career. Schmitz, this is his first free throw of the series.
7th season in the EuroLeague.
You better believe he's thinking about this now. He looks like he isn't.
Latvian international. Too strong.
Oh, my word!
Martin, I think
that is not PJ Dozier.
It
Please.
is.
Oh,
it is.
My goodness. Don't touch my shooting hand.
Is there a tug of a jersey here? Have we got... No, it's just
a foul.
Foul, yeah.
See, you want more drama than necessary. Don't get me an unsportsman, like, just put the pressure. Wow. 6 of 4. They're going to check it, though. I need to be quiet for a minute.
There it is. You can see the tug of the jersey by Jetty Osman. This might be unsportsmanlike.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Liam. Automatic, unsportsmanlike.
You feel for Jetty Osman because he's had a terrific night, 19 points.
And it's somehow Dozier gets inside him on the missed free throw.
You know, Martin, you talked about it in our opening comments, like who's going to come out of the shadows and play a role in this one. Now, when you look at Dozier's numbers, they're underwhelming, right? He's got 2 points, 2 assists, a free throw.
Wow. He's got a broken thumb, and I thought he was going to shoot it left-handed or go Rick Barry style, underhand.
Well, he makes both of them 4 points and doubled his output.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ataman's walked out the gym. They obviously didn't call a technical foul because there's no technical free throw been given to him. He's just decided he has had enough.
Remember, he is the national team coach, the Turkish national team coach. He was a former coach of FS.
He's not thinking about that right now. He's just thinking about what I got to get planning for game 5 because this one is over.
Smith's going to punctuate the win for Anadolu Efes. Osman got it. Well, Jetty Osman with that shot will match a career high if it's a 3.
Yeah, he'd give anything not to get the unsportsmanlike, though. That was well, you know, the finish from Schmitz. Getty takes it, but his coach might actually say, well, look, I know we get, it's a big bucket. Yeah, it's like the exclamation mark. I'd rather have 5 seconds off the clock than the 2 points right there. Maybe he wants to get the Adidas player of the game.
He definitely,
like that.
His eyes were the size of silver dollars.
And then here, the defense he's played on Kendrick Nunn in the second half. Do not underestimate the quality of that. That's what put him in the game for. That steal when he almost swiped the ball away from him. And then the offensive rebound, making the free throws. Not enough to give him player of the game.
I was going to say, it sounds like you're going to give him player of the game.
Well, that's because what makes the difference to me. You know, it's just like that. He said, it's the role player. It's the one that wasn't on the scouting report. That defense he played on Kendrick Nunn will not. That won't be. He'll get no stat numbers for that. The only stat you'll know is that Kendrick Nunn has ended up with 12 points when he's averaging 18 points a game in the series
and 20 points through the season. Right?
Exactly, and the MVP.
Yes.
But Larkin's composure, when they knew the offense, they were all over him, not letting him have shots, to come up with 9 assists.
Well, once again, Mark, we've had a close affair. It's going to be.
This would be the biggest
single digits
before
game
of the
1
series.
Yeah, game 1 decided by 4 points. Game 2, 3 points. Game 3, 4 points.
Pack your bags, folks. We're heading to Athens.
Well, Slukas will throw up a prayer, and the prayer is answered.
Well, that's good because it means that the biggest margin of victory stays at 4 points. These games are tighter than what the scores